see it as it is. Either worry and do nothing and be paralyzed, or you could see it as it is and do everything in your power in the direction you want. Hi guys, welcome back to Rumi. Today we are on the topic of exploring the magic formula of how you could stop worrying right now, immediately, and start focusing and start winning. So unlike my other videos where I usually have pointers, and what I used to do is I used to actively, dynamically talk and think while I had what I wanted to talk about in front of me. Today I want to read it from this because I think I want to explore this because it might make the video more crisp, more shorter. Worry happens when there's confusion, and confusion occurs with lack of clarity. If you've seen the video on manifestation and getting rid of bad vibes, I briefly talked about clarity in that. Worry happens when we think something is going to go wrong. When it has already happened, then the worry is what else bad thing could happen. So what's really happening in either of the cases is that we are projecting ourselves into the future or re-looking at the past mistakes and thinking over and over for a different result than that which has already occurred or we fear might occur in the future. Either way, no amount of worry will change the outcome. This you have actually heard before, but I think I'm going to state it again, and this time you might really grasp it. Anxiety or worry exists because we are in a delusion that things are entirely up to us. It's not. Our actions are somewhat up to us, yet they are 100% our responsibility. But when something goes right or wrong, so many things have to happen at the same time. So how could it all be on you to make sure that it all goes right? Even if it is up to you and it is your responsibility, you will see that if you worked more on the solution than the problem, you'll have far better results. Meaning when we worry, we are essentially focusing on the problem. But when we start looking at what the problem is, rather than why do I have this problem and why am I in this situation? And, we are looking at what the problem is and finding the solution. That's when the real magic happens. So you could think what possible things could be done to rectify, change, or accept it. That's when you're focusing on the solution. That is the only thing in our hands, to focus on the solution. So what can you do immediately? Learn to see things as it is. How can you do that? As I explained briefly in How to Cure Bad Vibes in manifestation, meditation helps to center you in a place of calm and strength. From that position, it's easy to look at things as it is and see the easiest solution right in front of our eyes, which we were missing earlier. Now, I want to just give one thing. What meditation does is it helps you understand your own self, your mind. It clears up your thought, and as soon as you have that clarity, you will see that you will be able to find the solutions. That's why meditation works, because you are now centered and you can look at things as it is because the clutter or the noise is gone. So this is the first thing that you can do immediately, meditation. Second, what can you do immediately? Do. I actually believe in this so much that I've actually tattooed this on my wrist. I'm not even kidding. Look at that. Look at that. There was a period some years ago when I went through all this anxiety and absolutely paralyzed by the analysis. I promised myself that I'll pull myself through this, and I understood that if my mind is powerful enough to create this problem, it's powerful enough to solve it. And just with that one understanding of the mind, that the power it has, I was able to go through that really messed up period for myself. I sometimes actually feel that I've actually gone through my midlife crisis. So whatever come may wali scene hai ki yaar, theek hai, I can, it's like your mind get calloused when you've gone through enough anxiety and you've been down enough number of times. The calluses we have जो यहाँ पे हाथ पे वो ऐसे skin मोटी सी हो जाती है जब gym जाते हैं, weight उठाते हैं, तो your mind gets calloused if you are you've gone through enough, if you're not giving up, if you're going for it. So I promised myself that I'll pull myself through this, and I understood that if my mind is powerful enough to create this problem, that it's powerful enough to solve it. At the end of that tunnel, I found this do as the ultimate solution to all anxiety. If you can get yourself to do something on a regular basis, more than half your anxiety will dissipate. So let's say right now you're in anxiety and you're watching this video and you're getting agitated, what I want you to do is you can start by cleaning your desk. You can start by organizing your books. And I'll share an experience that happened yesterday actually, and we'll come to that at the end of this video. You can start by making sure that things around you are in order, because environment has a huge impact on the way we feel about ourselves. So if the environment around you is clean and neat and ordered, you will feel ordered. You will feel in control. So the first thing that I want you to do if you're feeling anxiety right now is take one simple task, not a huge task which will take you 2 days, 3 days, even a few hours to complete. I want you to take a task which will take you a few minutes to do. Take a stack of books. If you have 100 books, take 25 of them, stack them in order in which you want them to be placed. You will immediately feel more productive. Don't think. Don't sit there and think. Do not stop yourself. Do not try and solve that thought right now. It won't help. Go and do that. So at the end of the tunnel, I found this to be the main solution. We worry when we are idle, basically, not when we are working or fully engrossed in something. We lie to ourselves when we think we need to watch this video or series to feel better, to watch anything, to indulge in games or social media to feel better, because it's sort of a triggered, it's sort of addictive thing. And I want to come to the point of social media in one of my videos. Anyway, even while I'm trying to stick to the script, I'm still thinking dynamically while I'm talking to you all. So anyway, so this is actually good. This is good active thinking. So we lie to ourselves when we think we need external stimulus to help us feel better. No outward stimulus can make you permanently secure in your being, because that's really the permanent solution to anxiety. If you're secure in yourself, you won't feel that much level of anxiety. A little bit nervousness is a very human thing. It's you. It's always been you. Watching a movie, a series, playing games, social media, shopping can help relieve stress for a while, but it's not the cure. It will all start all over again as soon as you have your patterns reinstated by set cues. So we all have cues to these things. Something a little overwhelming or a task which is a little harder for us. And we see this huge mountain in front of us that we have to climb, and we immediately like, oh shit. Let me just pick up this phone and tuck, tuck, tuck. 4 hours gone, like that. Stop. So it will all start over as soon as you have that cue. Question is, why do we tend to fall into the same traps, same patterns over and over again, and how can we really get out? Another thing about patterns and habits is that it's obviously another altogether a different thing to get into, to explain and to really get a handle on. But to really understand this right now easily, the work you take up, it has to be something which is not extremely challenging, first of all, or extremely easy. Either way, if it's extremely challenging or it's extremely easy, you'll either get overwhelmed or you'll get bored from it. So it has to be a moderate difficulty of work for you, which is a challenge, but not impossible, so that your mind is engaged and not bored or overwhelmed. And you'll see that if you just start putting all that thinking aside, if you just do putting all that story and all that, trying to find the source of the thought that troubles you and repeating the same scenario over and over again. I know you do that. I know you try to find the source of the thought and you think that will help, and you trying to make that perfect scenario, because this is actually a psychological study which said that 98% of the time people try and relive the happy memories in their head, or they're trying to create the perfect scenarios in the future. Breaking news, none of them help. So if you just begin, it gets better as you keep doing. I promise you it gets so much better. I promise you will be so happy with yourself just being in this moment right now with you. Just right this moment, you see something different happened within me, and you might have felt, if you have been with me up until this point in the video, you might have might have witnessed a different kind of energy right in this moment. Something's happening right now. That's flow. I'm here, one with you right now. So yesterday, I'll put this this is a different vlog that I want to shoot in, I think, a day or two. I want to tell a story about what happened. I can just give you a brief thing, and I just want to start, come to the real solution right now. Something happened, and I got into this overthinking after a very long time. After years and years, 2 days ago, I actually got into this overdrive of thinking, and I was back in those days where I used to be paralyzed with analysis. I was writing this video, to show it to all of you and to give you the solution. And while I was into that overthinking, I figured that I have a golden opportunity because I'm in that same scenario that I used to be. I can actually observe myself step by step how I get out of this. And I did. So here it is. First thing I did was I took a few deep breaths. So breathe. But here's the key. Breathe and focus on the breath and breath only. Not on trying to get rid of that thought. Do not try that. Do not try and get rid of that thought. It won't help. What I want you to do is just focus on that breath, not on that thought. Only on the breath, the inhale and the exhale. Next, even if you haven't understood this, you can hear it probably for the first time, or might be something you've already understood. But understand that time will take care of most of the stuff that you're worrying about. And if your actions are strong and consistent, time will take care of it. We try and grasp thought because we feel if we only do that, if we can grasp that root of the thought which is problematic, if we can find that perfect scenario in the future, if we can relive that past memory, we will be okay. There'll be another thought. There'll be another scenario that you want to have perfection in the future that you'll keep thinking, and then another, and then another, and no amount of thinking and grasping thoughts will help you get rid of that anxiety. So I focused on the task at hand. I believe I had to write a part of this video, and I quickly wrote a single draft without trying to perfect it. I just said, all right, let me just make it very simple. So I didn't try to make it very difficult to try and get the final draft. And I did not try to make it like, let me just write, the title of the video and just be done with it, because that would be too easy. So I just said, okay, I'll just write down whatever's coming to my head, and that's it for the day. I did not do anything else that day. Just that. Because that's what you want to do. You want to have it moderately difficult, but when you do it, the tendency is to overshoot it and do more and more and more. Stop that. Increase gradually, like a Fibonacci sequence. Add the last 2 steps, not the 1,000th step straight away. Start by doing the least you can. That's what I did. I set my desk clean. I just put my stuff in order. What I was not using on a daily basis, I just put that away. I just took a few things which I was using, and I just put that in place. Removed the clutter and kept only that which I was using on a daily basis. Decided that tomorrow I'm going to aim at doing one single task. That's it, just one. Not going to pressure myself to be back to doing everything at once. Just do one simple task and pick up from there. The idea is to keep going forward, even moving slowly. So today I did exactly that again, but today I did more number of tasks because I had already gone through one task, and the next day I did 2 main tasks, big, moderately difficult tasks. So I just took it one moment at a time, just keeping one step after the another. And at the end of the day, I'd actually done not 1, but 5 tasks, where it had 2 major ones and I believe 3 or 4 small ones, because I wasn't really overshooting. I was really spreading that efficiency that was starting to show again in my routine. So I figured that everything has a time. Eating, sleeping, working, figuring out a relationship, all of it has a dedicated time for it. But no one task must be confused with the time dedicated for another. This is very crucial. Otherwise, neither would get the best you can give it, and neither would work out the best it could. At last, the question might arise, why work? Why work at all? Why do we do this if everything is written and nothing is in our hands, and anxiety to hoti and this and that. Hum kaam karte kyun hain? If things are not done, if you don't work, your particularly dedicated work to you, work which has been allotted to you in life, things will get into chaos. Because when you do stuff, that's when things and time and life in the world gets in order. It might seem a bit of a stretch when I say that, but it actually is true, because you'll notice that when you're not doing some stuff for a couple of days in a row, the world around you starts going into chaos. Your room will start getting chaotic. Your work will start getting piled up. Your emails will start getting piled up. Your boss or your friends or your family will start screaming at you. That's little chaos entering in your life over and over again. And that will also pile up, just like the productivity piles up. That's why we work, to get things in order. Otherwise, it will all go to ruin. So do it well, and that's the only best course forward. And that's it for the video, guys. I hope you like this video. I tried to make it as short as possible. Look at that time, I went on 26 minutes. I'll try and cut this down to as much as I can, but I guess these videos have been longer, even if I went with the script. Maybe I should just go without it, because that was actually shorter last time. It actually was a smaller video. Thanks for watching this, and I hope you're well and you're keeping well and your family's safe, and make sure that you share this video with your friends and loved ones, and they can benefit from this as well. And don't forget to subscribe and like this video, and leave in the comments, what do you want to watch? What topic should we discuss next? What should we research and find the solution? We will see Brown Rumi. That's what we do. We try and find the answers to those questions which are troubling you about life, about your career, about creativity, about art, about relationships, about sex, about being good at something, about all of this. So leave in the comments, what do you want to talk about? Brown Rumi out. See you in the next one.